Uh, 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 uh.
How are you, folks? This is Frank Bellamy again, and what we're doing, we're going to tell you how to buy real estate in the best real estate market in the United States of America, and that's Youngstown, Ohio. We're standing here on a snowy winter, in the dead of winter, snowy winter's day, right here in Youngstown, Ohio, on the corner of Oak Hill and Dellison, right on the south side of Youngstown. And the reason we're standing in front of this property right now is because we're going to show you what not to do when buying real estate and when to buy real estate. The reason we're filming this today on one of the snowy days is this is the day, these are the kind of days that you make your offers on. You make offers on real estate anywhere in the dead of winter. You don't want to make offers on homes when the grass is all nice and it looks promising. Even though it's vacant, it looks promising during the summer, but in the dead of winter it looks hopeless. And that's what we want to do. We want to buy property from people who don't want their property. If an owner wants their, we don't want to buy it from them. We want to buy property from don't wanters. Now, this property we found on the internet, and the reason we're going to show it to you today is because the person that bought this property made a mistake. This person made a mistake. Now, this property is at 1805 Oak Hill Avenue, and it's a fourplex. There's four apartment units on this building. Now, it's right across the street from one of the largest churches in Youngstown. This is Mount Calvary Pentecostal Church. They've got 4,000 members of the church, and this property is right across the street from the church. So location, if you're just looking at it, this would be a great property to buy. But if you're going to buy it, even though it's a great property and a great location, if you pay too much for it, then it's not a good deal for you. Come on this way. The person that bought this property, his name is Palulo. He lives in Jackson Heights, New York. This is Youngstown, Ohio. He lives in the state of New York. He probably saw this on the internet, or some investor told him about it, and he bought it. Now, this person probably never came to Youngstown, just had $30,000 cash that he wanted to buy a property for. He bought it from an investment company. He paid $30,000 for this vacant duplex with no utilities on it. And was this a good buy? Was this a good deal? No, it wasn't. He paid too much. He paid too much for the property. So you can buy the good properties, but you've got to know how to buy. Come around me. Michelle is doing our video today. Michelle, turn the camera to yourself and let them see who you are.
Hello.
This is a property that was occupied for a long time, but it became vacant, and eventually folks moved out. You see it's partially boarded up, but the guy came and bought it and he paid too much. He bought it from an individual owner, from an investment company, and he had no idea of Youngstown property. You can't buy property off the internet without actually seeing it and touching it. Now, this property should have sold for maybe $4,000 at the most. So the person who bought this paid $31,000 for it. So he paid way overpriced. He paid maybe $26,000, $25,000 too much for a property that was clearly overpriced. Now, this is one you can get bid on this. Now, I'm going to show you another property that's right next door to it that you can buy, that was bought by a person off of the internet, and he only paid $1,000 for it. Was bought off of the internet. You see it has a wide back to it. It's a commercial property. The list it has an appraised value of $82,000. But what the guy did that bought this, he bought it from American Tax Funding. American Tax Funding is a group that pays the property tax, that buys tax liens on properties, and they resell it. A commercial piece of property that was only $1,000 was paid for. Now, this property right across the street from one of the most popular churches in Youngstown. It's completely vandalized. Some of the aluminum siding has been taken off the side. Come on, Michelle, let's show the other side of the house. The other side of this old nursing home. And it was probably originally a single family home that got converted to a nursing home. But you can see it's still in great shape. It's just been vandalized a bit. Now you can see this is what happens in Youngstown quite a bit. Even though some of the most popular and powerful people in Youngstown attends the church right across the street, you can see apathy has caused people just really not to care. And that's one of the greatest faults in the inner city communities. People are apathetic. They don't really care. And it's sad, but that's the situation we've got in most inner cities around America, and especially here in Youngstown, Ohio. So you can see the old Dandridge Nursing Home. Michelle, get a shot of the sign. The sign is still up, Dandridge Nursing Home. You see the gutters are falling off of it, but still the property's strong. The structure of the property is still strong. The structure of the property is still strong. You see, it was probably a beautiful single family home at one time, virtually a mansion. It has 5 bathrooms in it and bedrooms, so it could be easily converted back to a single family home. But even at $1,000, the person who paid for this out of Florida, even at $1,000, it's dead in the water. So who's the don't wanter here? Who don't want the property? Well, kind of both of these folks don't want the property. The more expensive fourplex, the person paid too much. In 2008, he bought it for $31,000. So that person's kind of stuck in the water. This person that bought this Dandridge Nursing Home obviously hasn't done anything with it. He's not going to probably do anything with it. He only paid $1,000. So this will probably be the don't wanter. Okay, because the guy over here, he wants to get his money back out of it. He overpaid. So the person that paid $1,000 will be more willing to sell the property to you. What will you offer him? If he paid $1,000, I wouldn't offer him no more than maybe $2,000. So he's made an extra $1,000 on a piece of property that he's actually done nothing with. What would you do with it? I would suggest anyone who's interested in buying real estate in Youngstown, Ohio, buy a piece of property that you can live in first here, and then start investing in everything else. So you got to be here. You got to be here, right here, to make the decisions, to look at the property, to touch it. There are fantastic deals here in Youngstown, and just don't ignore that, because if you slip, you miss, you're going to lose it. Now, American Tax Funding is an excellent place to buy property here in Youngstown. It's an excellent place. You can find them on the internet. That's American Tax Funding. They buy a lot of commercial property, make them the lowest offer you can. They're stuck in the water. They need the cash. Hey, this is Frank Bellamy with Michelle on the camera. You keep in touch with our videos. We got a lot more homes to show you. Thanks a lot for paying attention.
Uh.